What is a prop firm? Now, to put it to you guys in basically in layman's terms, according to Google, a prop firm is a proprietary firm, also known as a company that provides traders with the capital to trade financial markets in exchange for a share of their profits. These firms offer access to funding, advanced trading technology, support, allowing traders to make larger profits without risking their own money to get access to the firm's capital. Traders must first provide their skills and risk management abilities through an evaluation or the challenge. Now, this was a question that I got asked over the weekend. Somebody asked me, is this a broker? And I said, no, it's not a broker, it's a prop firm. And they asked me, okay, but what is a prop firm? And I thought, you know what? Let me make a video on this prop firm topic. And the purpose for this video is not only to talk about the prop firm itself, but it's to also talk about the benefits or the good and the bad thing about being involved or having a prop firm account. Now, today's video is sponsored by Equity Edge, and we will be giving away five $5,000 prop funder accounts in today's video. As well, as you guys know, I do give away these accounts once a week. All you have to do is to stand a chance, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment related to the video in the comment section below. Now, we're going to use Equity Edge prop firm as a prime example for this video, and we're going to discuss why prop firms are feasible and why they are also not that good. Now, prop firms has solved a problem to one major thing that we all have as traders in the market. Now, a lot of people that I've met in my entire life will tell you that, yo, I've got the skill or I know how to trade, but I just don't have the funds, or I just don't have enough money. Now, you might have found yourself in a position where you've taken a trade in the market through a broker account, and just before the trade went into your direction, your account basically blew. Now, the one thing that prop firms like Equity Edge, an example, is bringing is that they're bringing you a large amount of money for a fraction of the price. Now, also don't forget, you can grab 35% off your Equity Edge purchase simply by using the pinned link in the comment section below, RolioJ at checkout. So let me give you an example of a couple of things that we are looking at over here. Now, let's assume that you have to now be realistically thinking about it. $2,500, if you are in South Africa, you guys would obviously know that $2,500 is a lot of money. Now, if we have to go and look at $2,500, you would realize that $2,500 USD to ZAR, $2,500 is about 43,000 Rand. Now, I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, I do not have 43,000 Rand to risk in the market. However, I do have $24 to risk in the market. So now the thing comes in, like, in order to obtain that 43,000 that we have there, you basically just need $24, and that means you'd have a lot less. It's like 1,000% less. And if you even if you divide that even further, if you take 35% off that, so if we break it down even further, if you say 35% of 24, that gives you 8.4. So if you take 8.4 USD, sorry about that, if you take 8.4 USD, that means you'll be paying 144 Rand for an account with Equity Edge if you basically use the code RolioJ at checkout below, which is actually very cheap. Now, that is this problem that prop firms came to solve in the market or in the space, is that a lot of people have the skill to trade, they have the knowledge to trade, but they don't have the capital. And remember, being limited in terms of capital has always been an issue, because the idea of becoming or being in the markets has always been to try and stay in the markets for as long as you possibly can. But when you don't have the funds to get there, you obviously know that it's a little bit of a struggle. It's a little bit tough in order for us to basically make it, because you don't have the money. Now, let's talk about what are the good things and the not so good things about prop firms. The one thing about prop firms is that the rules are very clearly laid out. Again, we're using equity as an example, so you understand exactly what your risk factors are, what you can risk, what you cannot risk, what your daily limits are on the account. And in most cases, you'll realize that even your risk factor per day, depending on the account type, is still a lot more than what you've paid for the account. Give you an example, like we've just worked out there now, the account will cost you 144 Rand if you've purchased it. And if you take the 40,000 that you would get in funds and you take the max daily loss of 4%, you'll realize that 4% is still higher, or still cost more than the 144 Rand that you would have paid for the account. Now, that's the one good thing. The other good thing about being, having a prop firm account is the fact that you are now capable of withdrawing, of getting a larger withdrawal compared to the one that you would have initially had. Now, remember, in order to withdraw 4,000 off a normal account, you would need to have at least maybe 20,000 of real funds into your broker account before you ideally would be able to get close to withdrawing that 4,000 Rand mark. Again, prop firms solve that problem. Prop firms like Equity, they solve that problem to a point where you don't have to need the large amount of capital, but you would obviously need to ensure that that you are able to trade whatever account size you have, and you make that 10% prophecy based on the risk amount that you need, based on the account type that you choose. But most of the time, it's a lot easier to make that amount through being with a prop firm, as opposed to being either with a broker, having to deposit your own money. That's a second good thing. Now, another good thing with prop firms also, it alleviates stress and having you overthink about taking a trade. Most of the time, like myself, you don't want to trade certain instruments like precious metals or exotic pairs, because they are very expensive. So you try and stay away from that, because depositing 100 Rand, taking a 0.01 trade on gold is very expensive, because you might just be in the market for 5-10 pips maybe, depending on the broker, because you need to pay for broker charges, swap fees. Just take all of these things into accountability before you can actually make the decision to purchase a trade on gold. With prop firms, you've got a bigger amount to your exposure, so that means you have more, I almost want to say more leverage, because you've got more money. But at the end of the day, that is what trading is about. It's about ensuring that you stay in the game for as long as you possibly can, and that is why risk management is important. Now, what are some of the not so good things about being with a prop firm? Now, one of the not so good things about being with a prop firm is that you might become negligent. You might think to yourself, I've got 100K account. Let me go crazy with this account. Let me do this, let me do that. I don't really care about this. And I think having a prop firm account, kind of makes you less aware of the amount of money that you could potentially lose, because you really don't care about that. You actually just, you're just thinking to yourself, I've got all this money. I don't really care about risk management. I really don't like this. I really don't like this. I really don't like that. But at the end of the day, it's important that you manage your risk at the end of the day as well. The other thing about prop firms is that they've got a set of rules that you need to follow. And again, the case with Equity Hedge, the good thing about Equity Hedge on this side is that they provide multiple options of the account types, and they've got different percentages in which they are scaled into to give you a better advantage to understand exactly which account type you could potentially go for, or the one that suits you absolutely the best. The thing is, with prop firms having these percentages attached to their accounts, the bad thing about that also is that you have to be very careful in the way you manage your account, because now you don't want to hit the limit and you don't want to trade 2 months of that, or you don't want to trade 2 months of this. The one thing you have to understand, at the end of the day, prop firms, is always feasible. It's always the better option, because regardless of the amount of, percent that you can and cannot lose within that day, in most cases, the amount will never exceed what you paid for the account. So prop firms at the end of the day will also always have that upper hand for people who cannot always deposit big amounts in their accounts, like myself and like most of you guys can also. It's like I said, you can grab 35% off your first account from Equity Edge. And again, if you look at the price, which is only $34, $8.4 if you use the 35% code at the bottom, you'll realize that. Would you rather deposit the 144 Rand into a broker account, or would you buy a prop firm account of $12,000 and have more money to your exposure and have better, I already know what you guys are going to choose, right? But in any case, guys, that is the lesson for today. We're going to select the giveaway for the accounts very quickly, and then I'll be back with another. So you guys know, in order to stand a chance, all you have to do is make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment related to the video in the comment section below. And I'm also we will be covering South African traders again starting off next week in the new month. So we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5? 6, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I would ideally let's go with this one. That's they're both 1.8. Let's go with this one. Let's choose 5 winners. Let's go here very quickly. Okay, Alan Allbuzz, if it includes a code. you actually look like DJ Coach, my brother. I'm just joking there. You found yourself $5,000 in the prop funder account. Leonardo Tyler, DJ Coach is the king of scammers. You found yourself $5,000 in that funder account, and then I'm gonna select 2 more here. I'm actually gonna select 2 here, and then I'm gonna select one of that Sunlam video also. Let me copy this one here so we can kind of have a I'm very like you guys saw pay comments. Never mind. Anyhow, let me just continue with this thing. Even if you for forex 1239, I'm sure this makes a lot of sense, my brother. You've won yourself $5,000 in the prop funder account, and I would like to see you apply that paragraph that you said there. Our career, you've won yourself $5,000 in the prop funder account, and then we're gonna select one over here. Also, we are gonna just refresh here, and then we select over here. Okay. Let's go. Sunlam's immense. That last video gave me so much confidence. Oh, please, I don't have time for this bot comments. Every exchange rumor. These bot comments are everywhere. I know Nigerian accent. Emmanuel, you found yourself $5,000 in a prop funder account as well. Guys, thank you for your time. And as always, cheers for ears.